The Persian Fault Line, Iran and the Shadow War for the Middle East. In the depths of the Iranian plateau, beneath ancient ruins and behind sealed doors in marble halls, the gears of a great and terrible engine turn quietly. It is a game of shadows, where truth is smothered in smoke and the lines between war and diplomacy are drawn in blood and oil. Iran, both a nation and a symbol, stands not merely as a sovereign power, but as the dark mirror in which the West glimpses its own imperial contradictions. At the heart of this political thriller lies a regime that walks a knife's edge between ideology and survival. The Islamic Republic, forged in the fires of the 1979 revolution, has for decades maintained a tightrope act between religious absolutism and geopolitical pragmatism. But cracks are showing. Beneath the surface of official speeches and state broadcasts, Iran is a nation under siege, not only from without, but from within. Internal fault lines. The streets of Tehran echo with whispers of dissent. Economic collapse, driven by layers of Western sanctions, has choked the middle class and fueled unrest among the youth. Inflation soars, the rial plummets. The dream of self-reliance touted by the Ayatollahs is unraveling, pixel by pixel, in the glowing screens of VPN-connected smartphones. Protests flare like wildfires, brief, bright, then brutally extinguished, but the smoke lingers. The Revolutionary Guard, once hailed as the shield of the Republic, now straddles the line between guardian and oppressor. Its economic empire, stretching from construction to telecommunications, is both a fortress and a target. In the bazaars and back rooms of Iranian cities, the people murmur of corruption, of foreign plots, and of betrayal from within. A silent civil war of trust unfolds, one that no drone can bomb and no missile can deter. Enemies at the gates, Iran's outward stance is a defiant fist raised toward a hostile world. It views itself not merely as a state, but as the last bastion of resistance against Western hegemony. But the circle is closing. To the west lies Israel, whose cyber assassins have turned centrifuges into spinning death traps. To the south, Saudi Arabia wages a proxy war in Yemen, where Iranian-backed Houthis trade blood for leverage. And above, like a watchful vulture, looms the United States, its sanctions a slow, suffocating garrote. Each actor plays its part with surgical precision. Israeli Mossad units allegedly eliminate nuclear scientists on Tehran's own streets. Saudi airstrikes decimate northern Yemen, while Iranian arms smuggle through desert shadows. Washington, in the cold bureaucracy of its think tanks and war rooms, calculates human suffering as policy metrics. Civilians become pawns, cities become symbols. And behind it all, oil flows, quietly, relentlessly. The real war is not over territory, it is over narrative, over the right to define friend and foe, terrorist and freedom fighter. The nuclear ticking clock. Iran's nuclear program remains the story's central MacGuffin, the glowing orb in the center of the vault. To Tehran, enrichment is a deterrent, a bargaining chip, perhaps even a survival strategy. To Tel Aviv and Washington, it is a red line drawn in uranium. But the truth is slipperier. Some speculate the Islamic Republic never truly intended to build a bomb, but merely to dance with the possibility, forcing the world to engage. Others whisper of secret bunkers buried deep beneath the Zagros Mountains, where foreign engineers speak Farsi with Russian or North Korean accents. In this version of the story, the countdown has already begun. If war erupts, it may not come with tanks and flags, but with power outages, satellite failures, poisoned wells, and manipulated markets. The battlefield is not a desert, it is the global financial system, the cyber cloud, the invisible webs of influence that bind our modern world. War in the shadows, Iran is both protagonist and villain depending on the lens. In Damascus, its Quds Force operatives prop up the Assad regime. In Baghdad, its agents shape parliament with briefcases and threats. In Beirut, Hezbollah sits like a loaded gun aimed at Israel's northern border. But what if this chaos is not spontaneous? What if, behind closed doors in Riyadh, Tel Aviv, and Langley, deals are being struck? What if war is a performance, and the real conflict is economic alignment, digital supremacy, and energy control? Rumors swirl of back-channel diplomacy, of Saudi-Israeli cooperation against Iran's arc of influence, of CIA-backed information warfare campaigns designed not to invade but to erode. In this thriller, truth is relative. Every fact has its counter-narrative, every revelation its planted origin. The final act? So what happens next? Does Iran implode under its own contradictions? Does Israel strike preemptively and drag the world into regional chaos? Does America intervene once more, chasing ghosts of WMDs and strategic illusions? Or perhaps the war never erupts, but burns on in whispers, sanctions, assassinations, and cyber attacks. A war that never ends, because it was never meant to. A war sustained not for victory, but for control, for leverage, for the illusion of righteousness. In the end, Iran is not just a country, it is a mirror, held up to the world, reflecting the hypocrisies, ambitions, and fears of every player in the global chessboard. And the board is tilting. Somewhere in the night, a drone takes off from a silent airstrip. A USB drive changes hands in a Berlin cafe. A satellite image is quietly deleted from an intelligence server. The game continues, and in Tehran, the people wait, not for liberation nor conquest, but for truth, whatever that means now.